Hi, my name is Eliana Rivera, and I'm going to be sharing with you an overview of RAP and the five key recovery concepts. RAP stands for Wellness Recovery Action Plan. But before this, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and how I came to discover RAP. I am a military veteran. Was in the military for about 5 years. I never thought I would enlist in the military, but after a few things and wanted to kind of escape home a little bit and find a purpose in my life, I enlisted in the military. I was overseas for about a year, and after a 5 year term, came back home, and I thought I was living my life, same me, same person, going out with friends, being social. But that wasn't the case. My family noticed a few things about me that were different. I was a little bit more angry all the time. I was depressed more, a lot. I suffered from anxiety. I wasn't able to sleep at night. So I was going through a lot of things, but I never understood what I was going through. Mental health is something that my family never really talks about. And one of the main reasons is because we come from a very traditional Mexican household. And so mental health wasn't something that we talked about. So after my mother told me that, hey, you're not the same person that you were, that you are now, from the person that left, it kind of hurt me a little bit because I didn't understand or realize that I was hurting people that I loved. So I went to the Veterans Affairs, and after a month or so, I got diagnosed with PTSD, depression, anxiety, and that's when I discovered RAP. Part of my treatment was attending weekly therapy sessions, but I found that I wasn't getting what I needed from the therapy sessions. I felt weird and awkward because I was in a room with someone that was there to help me, but I always felt that they didn't understand or she didn't understand what I was going through. And I wanted to talk to somebody that was going through or went through what I was going through at that time. So she recommended a peer support veterans group, and I think that changed my life. This group was not focused in RAP. It was just kind of like a support group, but that's where I found RAP. One of the gentlemen in there said that what has been helping him through his depression and anxiety is that he had developed a RAP plan with his therapist. And I started asking questions, and sure enough, I fell in love with it. I developed one for myself for my anxiety because my anxiety was really bad at the time, and it worked. Till this day, I use it every day for everything that I do. When I got this position at my new job, I used my RAP. Change is really hard and it's scary, and RAP definitely helped me overcome the feelings of having to change, of dealing with the change of having a new job. So yeah, it was great. RAP again stands for the Wellness Recovery Action Plan, and is a tool that can be used, that we can use to get well and stay well when we are having difficult times. The beauty about RAP is that we can use it for many different things, like how I mentioned, for a job, when we're getting divorced, when we're starting school and marriage, for anxiety, depression. You can use a RAP for pretty much anything. And the great thing about RAP is that it's your own. You make it your own. You develop the things you want to develop, and it's yours. It's yours, and it's personal. And it's kind of taking control of your life when you do that for yourself. So the first thing that we will do a quick overview is the five key concepts. The first key concept is hope, and hope is having a vision of the future. And this is a positive future, and us taking the steps in making that future a reality. For me, my hope came when my mother sat me down and talked to me, and she let me know that I wasn't the same person that I was when I left, that I was angrier, and that she needed her daughter back. Excuse me. Um, and the reason I got hope from that is because I always felt alone. I always felt as if no one understood me. I always felt like no one cared. But the fact that she showed me that she did cared, it meant a lot. And I wanted to get better because I wanted to be that person that she missed and wanted back. So that's hope. The second key concept is personal responsibility. So acknowledging that your recovery journey is yours. Taking responsibility for our actions, that's personal responsibility. I used to say that the reason I am now who I am is because of the military, because I went to Afghanistan and, saw horrible things. I always blamed the military. I always used to say, damn, if I didn't go to the military, if I didn't go into the army, I wouldn't have been diagnosed with PTSD. So I did that a lot, and it caused me to go into a deep depression. But I finally realized that no, my life is my life, and even though yes, the military has some type of influence in my life, that's not the reason why I'm depressed. I'm depressed because of me. I have the power to help myself not be depressed, not be anxious. So that's personal responsibility. The third key concept is education, and this is pretty much educating yourself about the possible things out there, different resources, things that can help us get better. Again, when I finally wanted to get better, I started looking into the VA and the different help that they offer veterans, and it helped. I started educating myself on RAP, and I was able to develop my own RAP plan. The fourth key concept is self-advocacy. So this is part of empowering ourselves. Empowering ourselves to say no when we don't want something, the power to say yes, the power to say what we need, when we need it, how we need it, the power to know our rights as a person. That's self-advocacy, knowing our rights. And me, it came when I was told I needed to see a therapist for a week, for I don't know how long. I told myself, no, like, I don't want to do that. And I voiced it to my therapist. I said, look, I appreciate it. I'm pretty sure it helps other people. But at this time, I don't want to see a therapist every week. And this is when she was able to refer me to that peer support group, and which it helped because I was able to self-advocate for myself. The fifth key concept is support. And this is probably one that has kept me striving, because if I didn't have my family, if I didn't have my friends, if I didn't have my husband, I don't know if any of this would be possible. So support is having a system of like a support system of people that we are in constant communication, that help us get through whatever we are going through. But we also have to remember that if we want them to be our support system, we also have to be their support system. My husband, for example, he is my number one supporter. He helps me with everything. When I'm having a tough time, he reminds me, look, like, you'll get through it. Whenever I'm feeling depressed, he'll make sure that I look at my wellness tools and we do something on that list, and it makes me feel so much better. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to be where I'm at today. So yeah, that's pretty much the 5 key concepts of RAP. Now we will get into the overview of the Wellness Recovery Action Plan. So the first thing that we develop when we are developing a rap plan is our wellness toolbox. And this is the cornerstone of rap. This is a list of tools, of activities, of things that we do, that we develop, that help us feel better, that help us get better, get well, and stay well. So, for example, taking a shower, crafting, listening to music, doing my makeup, going for a bike ride, things that make us feel better. Taking deep breaths, walking outside, and going for a walk. All of these are great wellness tools. And again, it's what's the beauty about rap, that this is yours. This is what makes you feel better. This is yours, and this is what makes you feel better. So a lot of people don't like crafting. I do. I love crafting. So this for sure is in my rap plan. So you make it your own. That's the best part about rap. The next part of the rap is the daily maintenance plan, and this is when we start developing our rap. So the first part of the daily maintenance plan is what I'm like when I am well. So this is a list of description words that describe you, and how you are when you are feeling well. This serves as a reminder to yourself, to the people around you, and it's also a way to get back to, to what you are like usually, or on an everyday basis. And it's just a reminder, hey, like, I am loving, I am caring, I am kind, I am beautiful. So that's what that is. The second part is what I need to do every day to stay well. And this is a list of tools that we need to use every day to stay well. So for example, I need to take a shower, I need to brush my teeth, I need to come to work, I need to feed my dogs every day, I need to take them for a walk every day. This is things that I need to do every day to stay well. The next part is what I might need to do to stay well. So this is things that we might need to do. So these are things that we don't do every day, but once in a while when we're not feeling too great, we need to do them. So for example, pedicures. I love going for pedicures, manicures, massages. So going to the gym. I don't go to the gym every day or every week or whatnot, but if it helps me relieve some stress, I'm gonna go to the gym. So the next part of the wrap is identifying our triggers and developing action plans. So identifying triggers. External triggers are things that happen, are external things that happen that make us feel uncomfortable or upset. So me, for example, I don't like being in a crowded room. I start being hypervigilant, and I start becoming very anxious. So an action plan that I've developed is either walking out, letting my husband know I need to take a breather, and I walk out and I start deep breathing, and it helps me so much, and then I'm able to collect my thoughts and go back into the store wherever I'm at and continue with my day, and it works. The next part is the early warning signs and action plan. So identifying early warning signs. These are things that we notice about ourselves that let us know that we're not feeling well. So for example, if I start being very snappy with my husband, and maybe not having the same patience that I usually have, because I'm very patient. But if I start, not being as patient, that tells me that, something's going on. I'm feeling too overwhelmed, and I need to do something. So an action plan for that is a list of things that we can do to make us feel better, to alleviate what's going on, because we don't want to, that warning sign that we're having, we don't want it to escalate. We want to kind of nip it in the bud and, make it better. So an early warning sign would be, again, when I start becoming very irritable. What helps me is, again, deep breathing. Going into my, how men have man cave, well, I have a woman cave, and I go in there and I start crafting. I make a lot of glitter tumblers, and I love it. It helps me relax. I enjoy it. And so when I start feeling irritable, I go in there and I just start doing that, and it makes me feel so much better. And then I can come outside and talk to my husband or whatever was going on. The next part is when things are breaking down and an action plan. So we identify when things are breaking down. This means these are feelings of us feeling a lot more worse, that we don't need help from others yet. We can still do things for ourselves, but the early warning sign it didn't help. The action plan for the warning sign didn't help, and things might have started getting a little bit worse. And then that's the when things are breaking down, when I notice that it got a little bit worse. So now an action plan for that is tools that we can use to help us feel better. But this list includes specific things that we know that we have to do to feel better. So for example, if we do deep breathing, how often, how long are you going to do deep breathing for? Is there a specific script that you're going to use? Maybe you're going to go for a walk. How long are you going to go for a walk? How far? If you're going to go to the gym, for how long? How many repetitions are you going to make? It's a detailed list to help you overcome that feeling. And the great thing about this is it's yours. This is developed for yourself, and it's catered to you. So whatever works for you, that's what's going to go on this list. So the next part of the wellness tool, of the wrap is the crisis plan. And this is developed when we're feeling well. So if we ever do go into a crisis, we still have control over our life and the decisions that are going to be made, because this is what they're going to use, our supporters are going to use, and I created it. This is me. So this still gives me a little, it gives me power over myself, because I created this for me. So the first part of the crisis plan is part 1. There's 9 parts to the crisis plan. The first part is what I'm like when I'm feeling well. So again, this goes back to your daily maintenance plan. It's that list that describes yourself, to remind others and yourself of who you really are as a person. Part 2 is signs that others need to take over. So signs that indicate to others that they need to start taking over our responsibilities. So that's 2. So hey, what are some things? What are some signs that let you know that, hey, I need your help now? Maybe I'm not sleeping. Maybe I'm not sleeping anymore. Maybe I'm staying awake all night. That would be a big sign. Part 2 is supporters. Who is doing what we need them to do, who we don't want involved. A list of supporters with a description of what their duty is or what their role is. Part 4 is medication and healthcare. So what type of medication do we prefer to take? What medication we don't want to take? List of medications to avoid that we're allergic to. This is where the list of medication goes under. Part 5 is treatments. So treatments that make us feel better. For example, maybe I'm allergic to dogs, and I don't want dog therapy. I want massage therapy. So this is where we list the ones that we prefer and the ones we want to avoid. Part 6 is home, community, and care respite centers. So this part is a plan so that we can stay at home or in the community and still get the support that we need. Are we staying with a family member? Are we staying, this is where that goes. Part 7 is treatment facilities. So facilities where we prefer to be treated or hospitalized if becomes necessary. Because what if I don't want to go to a certain hospital? So this is where that would go. Part 8 is help from others. So things that others can do for you, and what they can do to make you feel better, and things that they please don't do because you're gonna make me feel worse. So I don't want a lot of people at my home because I don't like a lot of people over me. So I'm gonna make sure that I write that on there. Part 9 is inactivating the crisis plan. What are signs that we no longer need to use this plan? So maybe now I'm sleeping the 8 hours that I need to sleep every night. So that's where that goes. And the last part is the post-crisis plan. So what are we gonna do to ease back into life? How do I know what I'm how do I know when I'm out of crisis? So you're gonna make a list and to let people know, hey, I'm ready to come back. I don't need to use my crisis plan anymore, and this is where that's gonna go. And you know, rap changes as we change over time, and we grow. Our supporters change. Our wellness tool changes. But the best thing about rap is that it's catered to you, and you make it your own. And you know, we gotta take care of ourselves. So with that being said, that was a quick overview of rap and the 5 key recovery concepts. Thank you.